What if Misery was a comedy and a Christmas movie? We saw Holidays in Handcuffs, so you know what that means.
Now it's time for How Did This Get Made? We're gonna have a good time, celebrate some failure, not just be a hater. Cause you know you wonder, how did this get made? Let's wallow in the mediocrity of subpar art. Perhaps we'll find the answer to the question, how did this get made?
Hello, people of Earth, and welcome to a holiday edition of How Did This Get Made? It's our yearly Christmas film. I am joined, as always, by Jason Mantzoukas. How are you, Jason?
This movie made me feel like a real Grinch. Like a real Grinch.
I was heartwarmed by it.
That's not possible.
And
Joan heartwarmed? Nailed it.
and June Diane Raphael. How are you, June?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Wow.
I'm okay.
Wow.
Oh.
For the holidays, just okay. And I'm very excited because I think a lot of our listeners have been asking for this guest to join this crew and especially in studio, welcome the fantastically talented and hilarious Jessica St. Clair.
You know, it isn't often
Oh, boy.
that two women are allowed on a podcast to speak. And I just
freely.
And I just
You know
want
what?
to. And
Let me
I feel like
explain.
it's the right time.
Let me explain what I
No,
think
let
Jessica's
me
trying to say.
explain.
This is what I think Jessica's trying to say.
Jess, so excited to have you here for our
you.
Christmas
Couldn't be
spectacular.
June and I are dressed identically.
Quite similarly.
And we spent all day together.
You
really?
know how we know that's not true? Because you were just 40 minutes late.
That's right. We left each other, and then I don't know what happened.
Jessica went into a fugue state.
I seriously did. Much like Joan Hart when
Oh, yeah.
she kidnapped good
Well,
old Dimps.
Let's just say this movie came out.
Dimps to the Dimps.
Mario
McGee.
Double Dimps.
This movie, Holiday in Handcuffs, was a ABC original film that came out in 2007. And this has been something that I know June has been asking for, and I thought maybe, Jess, you said it too. Like,
Yes.
the idea of let's do a Hallmark.
Okay, time out.
Yeah.
This is not a Lifetime or Hallmark movie. And I do feel like I need to
apparently,
make that
this is,
distinction.
you requested this specifically.
I never
This
said
is
that.
very
Nope.
close to that. It's an ABC
think
family.
Here's-
Paul, production value wise, like what Lifetime and Hallmark are doing, lighting. They would never have shown her skin.
Never in the
yeah.
harsh light of
in the-
Albany.
They
That-
would never have done that.
We showed in the crevices. Now,
I saw
thought,
whiteheads. I saw all
I
manner
saw
of
it all.
things.
I know. I would say that the lighting was a little harsh, especially in the opening of this film.
last looks.
was rough.
Last looks.
Please run in.
No,
Was it a choice?
No, God, no. I thought it was maybe. Now, I had Joan Hart's haircut. Jason's going to remember this very well. For most of my 20s, it was a grow out of the Hugh Grant haircut I had in
Correct.
college.
Yes.
I'm remembering a headshot of you circa
right.
2000. That was that hair and then like a mock turtleneck.
Yes.
Did you
it's
post
definitely
this
a
recently on
turtleneck.
Instagram?
A cowl neck. But even my hair
like
looked better than this shit.
and like
I didn't
baggy
have,
jeans.
And a baggy jean, but even my hair looked better. So at first I was blaming it on the time because what
Right.
year did this come out?
2007.
2007.
No, that's too late.
there's
That's
no-
too late.
That's way too
And
late.
would it surprise you?
I
I know
had
you
grown
said
out of it by then.
I know you said you were talking just a second ago about the budget. Would it surprise you if I told you this movie was $5 million?
No, my God, no. What?
Paul.
$5 million
Wow.
budget.
For what? It's basically two locations.
Yeah. It's that restaurant and it's
And the
that
cabin.
cabin.
And the cabin's just a VRBO for the week, right?
Well,
yeah,
this movie,
that's like 150 a day.
Sleeps 8 with a rollaway.
guys,
No
I,
pets allowed. No pets
And
allowed.
they're shooting porn in it at night.
I will.
100%.
I do want to just say one thing before we get too deep into this episode. I do have a personal relationship with 3 of the lead people in this film.
What are you talking about?
I will reveal each one, maybe like the ghosts of Christmas past, future.
Wait, did
and
you
I
present.
love
fuck
this.
Joan Hart?
Well,
Did
you want to hear?
fuck Marky Post?
Well, I can tell you. You can pick whoever you'd like to hear. I'll tell you the
Let's start
Marky
with
Post.
Marky Post, please.
So,
and thank you.
When I was out in LA for the very first time, I was in 6th grade, and my dad and I did something called
Not another
Hollywood.
sad childhood tale.
Hollywood on location, where you would
I know
drive
this story.
to a would drive to an office where they collected all the permits of everything that was shooting in town, and then you would drive to the locations and then hang out and wait to meet people. So we met Michael Landon shooting Highway to Heaven. We met Simon and Simon shooting Simon and Simon. I met Christopher Walken shooting that movie Communion. And I met Marky Post shooting a movie where she was a hooker. And I was so excited because I had seen, I was a huge fan of Night Court, and I really wanted to meet her. But she was dressed very much like what you would think in the 1980s TV movie of a prostitute would look like. She was, and
a lot of pleather, or like a what Julia, like a bad version of Julia Roberts, a pretty woman.
Exactly.
So, and she's got the double D's for sure.
Who? Marky Post?
Marky Post was working with a lot up top during this film.
Yeah, I know she's stacked.
Marky Post. All I could notice. It is all I could notice in those cardigans.
Well, my dad had to kind of introduce the concept to me of what she was playing.
You didn't know what a hooker was.
Yeah, I just kind of thought this is a person from Night Court.
Where is this story going?
So then my dad brought me down. She's like, where?
Then you lost your virginity.
But yeah, so Marky Post was one of the first autographs I ever got because she was lovely.
I can imagine.
I mean, also I'm a young little kid, running up to Marky Post. And this is the time of year it was, or the year it was, where it was like the cop was like, "You want to meet Marky Post? I'll bring you right to her trailer."
Like, that's insane.
Wow.
Knock, knock, knock. Wow. She opened up the door, and I went up to her step and got her autograph on the step of her trailer.
Do you still have an autograph book?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I also have it. I thought someone was famous, but he was just the stunt coordinator for the Miami Vice Stunt Spectacular at Universal Studios.
Still great.
And I have that, and it's a big, big autograph. Like, he almost signed half my page. I also met David Carradine on that trip, and he signed with a yin and yang. So that's my first story. Christopher Walken did separate me from my father and bring me into a private room. Like, he wouldn't meet my dad with me. He's like, they said Christopher Walken will meet you, but not with your dad.
That's
no.
And I walked into a private room, and he got down on his knees, and he looked me in the eyes and talked to me. Yeah.
Oh,
and he gave you the Pulp Fiction speech.
So that was just
and was like, I'm working on this for a new project. Do you think
what do you think
it works?
He was like, I won't do an impression because it's so good and I don't want to make you guys intimidated. But he was like, hello.
Do you want Kevin Pollak to come in here and do it? We can get KP to come out.
I'll have him write it. Oh, June and Jess are wearing the same sunglasses and the same top. Please put them on for the picture in the podcast.
Crazy.
Sorry.
Anyway, so Marky Post,
you told me where you got them, so I went ahead and got them myself.
Marky Post, dear close personal friend of mine. This movie is insane. For a premise, it's insane.
I don't know.
What?
I mean, to even talk about the premise of this movie it's actually an insult to our intelligence. I find the entire movie insulting.
Really?
Yes. Like, we all and I don't know if I was looking at it through because I knew June would be here and I wanted to impress her, like, with my feminist views. But there is so much hatred in this. Now, you guys make me watch a lot of post-apocalyptic films with trash can fires, and I was happy. I was like, oh, good.
Yeah.
This is actually, I believe, a post-apocalyptic film where everybody hates women. One of the first things it said to her is like, you fucking bitch, like when she let a man cut in front of her. People hate women in this movie. Women hate themselves.
And I hate women too.
Wow.
Did a woman write this movie?
Yes.
We need to find them, knock on their trailer door, and have some words.
I want to go back to her hair for another minute.
Please.
I just want to make sure we're not done there.
Sure.
Because there's a lot more to unpack. So it's 2007 and she gives herself a home perm. A permanent.
Accidentally.
A permanent.
Accidentally.
No, that's not correct.
No, she's
trying to get curls.
But that's a perm.
That's a perm. And people have
even
not given
a
themselves their
looser
own
curl
perm.
is a perm?
even a looser
She's
curl
putting
is a perm.
Okay.
Yeah, solution.
I thought a perm was like the tight curls that she ends up with because
She's
she
putting
kept
a
it
chemical.
on too long.
Here, this is great. Let's get into it.
Guys.
She's putting a chemical solution in
Sure.
her hair,
Right.
To give her.
permanently.
That is also
you don't
called
do that to get a curl.
a party perm. Did you ever get
I
a
don't know
party
what
she-
you're
perm?
saying. I
So
don't know
let,
what
let me
you're
ask
saying.
you this. She sets a timer, but she doesn't hear it ding, so she keeps the stuff on
Solution.
too long, which makes it kinky, like crazy curly. What I would, like the old school 80s perm.
And let's just and this
And
is,
she looks preposterous.
and let's just kind of say like the reason why she doesn't know that it's left in there too long is because she accidentally puts part of her towel over the egg timer, so it really dampen.
that's why. And also-
dampen the
yeah.
sound of
of the ding.
of the ding.
Okay. I don't know what a party perm is. I don't know what type of perm you've done, Jason.
Well-
I don't know if that's a.
Listen.
Jason, her hair is not dissimilar to if we took
It's
your
really
hair currently and put it on Melissa Joan Hart's head.
Okay, I'm
By the
trying
way,
to,
I
I'm
cannot
trying to
wait-
not take offense at this.
I cannot wait to see the listener
today,
art of
just
this. This is
today.
going to be amazing.
Okay, guys, here's the challenge. Photoshop, I guess, my hair onto Melissa Joan Hart's head. I'm so sorry, Melissa Joan Hart, for
Close
when
personal friend of Paul
inevitably
Scheer.
you find out that this has happened. My sincerest apologies.
I'm not wrong.
No,
I mean,
you're not
it's
wrong at
curlier
all.
than
Hey, you know
usual
what?
right now.
Here's what I'm going to say. While you're at it, if you've already photoshopped my hair, just throw it on Marky Post. What the fuck?
Give everybody Jason's hair.
Everybody in this movie, my hair.
How old do you think she's supposed to be in this movie?
She
28.
says it. 28.
28.
Yep.
She says in the
She
movie.
says 28. So she's giving herself. You're telling me a party perm is,
No,
is
a party-
something you do that's not permanent?
And no, in 8th grade, in sleepovers, we would give each other party perms, and they would only last for a couple days. It looked very similar to that.
So
Okay.
she's giving herself a
But
party
it's not
perm.
a party
I think
perm.
she's-
That's a
no.
real perm, and nobody I know has ever given themselves a real.
Wait,
You
I don't think
cannot
she's not-
physically, by the way. The physics of it don't line up.
No, they
You'd
don't.
never be able to get.
And you're from Long Island.
I
So
know
if
from perms.
Anybody could give themselves a
It
perm.
would be
it would
me,
be you.
and I wouldn't dare.
And it-
I wouldn't dare.
That says a lot.
It really does. Now, I had a perm in 7th grade. You go to a salon. It's like a full day
Right.
affair.
Yeah.
Are there pictures of this?
My mom wouldn't let me get one.
So, well, I actually
Why wouldn't she let you
struggled-
get it? Like that doesn't seem like
She
a.
made me have like a page boy till I
wow.
was like
Sorry.
26.
She made that's what you just described is part of the problem in the movie
true.
too. Your mom is making you do things until you're 26.
I gotta
That's
tell
a
you,
Yeah,
huge.
that
26.
That
That
is
part
26.
I related
Resonated.
to in this movie. That part resonated.
really because I was like, this is crazy that this family is giving this mother so much power.
I also
Have you met
don't.
my family?
Yes,
I also don't think that she's
many times.
I don't think that she's that badly off. She's living in a giant luxury loft apartment.
One of the bigger New York City apartments
Was that New York City?
No,
I
it's
feel
not.
like it's like Poughkeepsie.
Oh,
I mean,
to tell.
that's what I'm saying. It's like some sort of upstatey.
Oh, really?
area.
I think
well,
it was
maybe not
supposed
New
to
York.
be New
York
York.
I think it was supposed
Wait, it was
to
supposed to be New York. You're being serious, really?
I thought so, but
thought
I
Oh,
think so.
but you know what?
I think
It
they
could-
used
it could
stock
ver-
shots of New York.
but I have no
Oh,
idea.
you're right, because
I
she was
don't know.
driving in that traffic. I just assumed that because that Indian diner.
That's
Seems-
also problematic.
Yeah.
Why in an Indian diner are people just ordering cheeseburger and fries?
And why was the Christmas special a hot dog?
Yes, I clocked that as well. I was like, why is he offering hot dogs?
on Christmas. I mean, that was, oh my gosh. And I had a theory about this movie too, which is I have a couple questions. She's dating.
I have a million questions.
She's dating this very well-to-do
Nick.
This
Who's like a proper hunk.
right.
I thought
I didn't
he gave
think so.
a great performance.
I thought he did, but I thought he looked like a rat.
No, he was like I couldn't figure out why they would be dating.
well, that's what I couldn't figure out.
He
Like,
seemed like some sort of finance douche, and
Yeah.
she is like
He just wanted
like
to-
a weird artist kind of kooky character.
which, by the way, an artist that we only are introduced to being an artist about
Guys,
an hour into
I
the
want to
film.
talk about her art for 1 to 7 hours.
Wow.
I mean,
Her art is bad.
you could pick
It's
her art to
terrible.
be anything, and yet they picked that.
It's the kind of art that like would be up in your local coffee shop.
That's right.
Yes.
Or
I thought
and,
for
and like
sure,
Telluride, Colorado.
but I
like,
thought
not
for
like
sure his condominiums were going to feature her artwork at the end.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
No, but no, he
bought
just,
her art.
He
I know,
bought her
but
art.
I thought that's where we were headed. Like, this art is so terrible. It should be in like
Yes.
Oh,
it should be in a chain of condos,
like-
like the Oakwoods or whatever
That's
those
right.
places
like,
are.
like
Where
a
you move
shitty
your
lobby.
kids.
Like pre-furbished,
like temporary
like
furnished
already
housing.
furnished
Yeah.
houses. Yeah,
But she
or-
only seemingly did like portraits, which I was like, why not just make her a photographer? Because it was
Do
just
something.
like
Who
it
are
was
those
all.
people?
Oh, who are those people? And why was she? And why was all of her? Well, I mean, I thought her art being in a photo, but it was very confusing to me. It was very confusing to introduce the thrust of the main character so late in the game. She didn't seem like she had any desires or wants until he accidentally found that in her pocketbook.
It also, I feel like the
And she's
set,
carrying that around on a daily basis.
I feel like the set designer was so psyched because she was like, just give me the night and I'm going to come up with these portraits. And like, you know, she was stuck
the
going to
set
Home
design-
Goods to get different
Yeah.
types of, you know, potpourri things to put around the set. But she was like, this is my night to
This is,
really
like,
create
really-
art.
Yeah.
You know?
So she's dating this guy, Nick, who, I mean, clearly, I guess the reason that he wants to be with her is just because he wanted to have sex with her.
There's no other. Well, where could they have even met though?
Well,
Like,
but
just
they
look
are
at the
dating
two of them.
enough. They are dating enough that she has told her family about him. She's told her family she's bringing him to Christmas.
He's agreed.
He's agreed to go to Christmas with her family. So they are dating, but they have not had sex yet because he says he only said that he would go to Christmas with her family to get her in bed.
Oh, no. I think they did have sex, and now that they had sex, he's like, I'm out.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
He
Oh.
said, I will go see your family before they had sex.
Okay, yes.
Then they
Oh,
had
I
sex,
didn't
and now
get-
he's like, later, skater, I'm out of here.
I thought he was saying, I'm breaking up with you because you're boring, you're stupid, you don't have a job. And also, we
Did he
have
say that? Are
Yeah,
those-
he said those words.
And
Did he
al-
say you're boring and
He
you're
said
stupid?
those words. yeah.
basically like you, and that, but also we haven't had sex yet, so I
No,
feel
no,
No,
okay.
Jessica, they had sex.
They had sex, and,
that's
and
even
then he
worse.
was like, you dumped.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
You dumped.
But in this movie, if we could look at it through the lens of The Handmaid's Tale, because I
okay.
do feel
Okay.
I haven't seen
All
it.
right, let me
You
let me
haven't seen-
orient
haven't seen
myself
it.
for a second.
Now you're saying you want to look at it through the lens of The Handmaid's Tale, which you have
haven't
not
seen
seen.
it.
Have you read the book?
No.
Oh,
Okay, great.
please.
Too scary.
Please.
All right,
But-
let's get into it.
But the women are all guarding like their virginity. Like the sister there's a question about has she been fucking all the guys she's
Right.
with, and she says no, of course. So in this
And the
2000,
mom also is having trouble with her sexuality.
that's right.
Or-
So in this 2007 world, women are not having sex out of wedlock. I don't believe, and if they are, they're being punished for it.
No, of
i.e.
course they are.
No, because
Melissa.
Marky Post, my friend Marky Post says, you boink a lot of people. I have only boinked one person.
Yes.
And she was kind of jealous when the sister was like, by the way, the parents don't even have names. They're just called Mom and Dad on IMDb. Mom and George Bush impersonator.
He was one.
By the way, I'm looking and go, this
No,
guy looks like
that's Timothy
W.
Bottoms.
And then I looked, and he was a George Bush impersonator.
He
'cause
must be.
He played That's My President on Comedy Central. He was
That's
W.
right.
Oh, interesting.
And he
That's
made
right.
a
He's
very
also
big
Timothy
career.
Bottoms. He's like
Yeah.
a very famous like 1970s actor from like Last Picture Show
Yes.
and a bunch of movies.
But he made a resurgence
oh,
as
that's
W.
interesting.
That's
Yeah,
right.
because I was like
remembered
looking the
him
whole
from
time,
that.
like he looks like he's in Harold and Kumar. He's in he
Funny.
did a lot of like stuff. But the sister, like she's like, I'm not sleeping with them, Mom.
I
But,
thought that was Kristen Bell for a hot second.
Oh, wow.
by the way, Kristen
With
Bell also.
extensions.
I thought that, by the way,
Just
the brother
for a
and
second,
sister-
I
I
thought
thought the brother and sister were a couple.
I thought the brother and
I
sister
did
were a
for
couple
a long
for that whole
time.
introductory
Yes,
scene.
very long.
Well, there was a
time.
lot of sexual tension between the members of the family. I
Yes.
thought. I thought there was a lot of sexual tension between Marky Post and the son. For
Yes.
a brief
Oh,
second.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I thought there was a lot of sexual tension between Melissa Joan Hart and the grandma.
Yeah, that was
and
it.
between Melissa Joan Hart and her gay brother.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I thought they
Who
could
do
all
you
fuck.
think had sex
I
on
would
this
love it if
film
this
during
movie
the filming of it?
turned
Great
into
question.
fucking.
Well, here's the big thing that we should all know about this film. They all had terrible stomach viruses.
This makes total sense because there were
What?
several points where I was looking at them, and I know the lighting was terrible, but they were all sweating.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Profusely,
And it
like,
looked
Dimples was
So-
like so
and like the
moist.
mascara had transferred
Yes.
as if someone had to say, I'm so sorry, give me a second, thrown up, come back to the scene.
Yeah,
So
it's
basically,
ready to
Melissa
go, like,
Joan
we're
Hart
rolling.
brought her 1-year-old son to set, and he got everyone in the house sick because they were in that cabin and they called the cabin the Petri dish. And June Lockhart got it the worst. She was the most sick, but they all had a terrible, terrible stomach flu.
June
We have to look
Lockhart,
at it through this
who's-
lens and the lens of the hand.
So many
Now I'm
lenses.
the one that's sick.
Wow. That's pretty nuts.
Yeah, so let's give them
Yeah.
props for acting through this movie.
I do not blame, and I want to be very clear, any of the actors for their performance. That we have all been in things that the script is horrible. They're
Yes.
not improvisers. They
No.
couldn't improve on it.
They all are
I'm
doing a
going to
good
say
job.
something. I thought Mario Lopez did a fine job on this.
By the way,
motion
June,
picture.
you are not wrong.
An
A
impossible
fine job.
role to make work because
Truly.
he is kidnapped, he at gunpoint, and then he
By a
has
musket.
to act the turn of getting into not just
Yes.
her, but this family and all of these dynamics.
And you have to like abide that he's not running away like
constantly.
We knew his objective moment to moment.
Yep.
He'd done the work.
He is
And
his
I thought to myself, he should have had a romantic comedy career. And you know what kept him from it?
What's that?
Those dimples are distracting. And also, he's just a little
Too
too
good-looking?
pretty.
Too pretty.
Wow.
Listen, that is a thing. You cannot be, you're not going to break
No.
as a comedic leading man if you're too pretty.
Wow. Interesting.
And that's just the truth. Like,
That- well, that
if I
was-
saw
that
Mario
was-
Lopez, I would feel
Here's what I'll
intimidated
say.
as
Well,
a woman.
should I talk about
it takes him having to wear a mask in Deadpool for Ryan Reynolds to become a comedic leading
You're right.
man.
Yeah.
Because up until that point, he is so handsome.
And I would
people
argue
only
Mario
want-
blows him out of the water.
People
in
only want him to be
feminine
like
pretty.
the hunky guy, but he's like, oh wait, no, I'm actually quite funny.
I could
and
just
people
wear
are
the
like,
mask.
No, not interested. We want you to be like a hunky guy in these other movies.
Should I talk about my experience with Mario Lopez?
Would love to hear it. I also have something.
Oh, really? Well, what is
Not
yours?
that interesting.
All right. What's yours?
In my very sad first 5 months in Los Angeles, when I moved here and immediately the writer's strike happened and I fell into a deep and unending depression.
Oh, wow.
There was a gym 3 blocks away that I used to walk to and just use, as Jason knows, the elliptical trainer until it turns off because I'm going so slow. It was owned by
there were
the son
period-
of the mob, of a mob boss.
Okay.
And it was a front, basically. And he was losing money. And so he would rent it out as a photo studio. And he wouldn't tell anybody. So I showed up to do my elliptical trainer. And Mario Lopez was having a photo shoot where he was shirtless in front of me. And
wow. Slowly.
I went fucking bananas.
Yeah.
Like erotically.
No, all of the anger about Los Angeles came
Oh,
bubbling
no.
up, and I went crazy. And I walked up to the front. I said, "This is unacceptable!" And I made a scene, and he could see it and watch it. And then I felt terrible about it.
Wow.
You didn't want to work out in front of
I said, "Why am
photo
I being
shoot.
forced to do this?" And then next week, it closed its doors.
Oh, wow.
They
Did he
shuttered
put on
right
his
after
Did he
that.
put on his shirt while you were freaking out?
No, they just kept along with the shoot. It was just like, this is Los
were down
Angeles.
there.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
keep on
it
moving.
almost
Deal
broke
with
me.
it.
I almost didn't have a career and deprived
Wow.
America.
Wow.
It
What
is.
I'm delivering
What-
on
yeah,
a
what
daily
you
to
have.
be
basis.
honest,
scary to think back on.
what you have had to overcome
I know. Listen, we could
is
spend a whole.
really it's
By the
really
way,
wild.
I'm just seeing something right now, and it's going off track for a second. So we've established that June and Jess have the same glasses. Jason, do you and I have the same glasses?
oh,
My God,
yes, we do.
this is so fucked up.
This is very strange.
happening
All right, so my Mario Lopez story was one of my first jobs ever was a UPN show called Make My Day. It was a reality show where you made people's day by
Sounds
creating
nice.
the best day possible. The problem was in the reveal because it wasn't like a prank, like, oh, it's nothing going bad. It's just a prank show. Here you'd be like, nothing went good. It was a prank show. So you'd have to like, your letdown would be,
This isn't real life.
yeah.
Wait, make my day. Oh, I see.
So it was like we made their day,
And then
we
they were
told
like, it's
them
all fake.
It's all fake.
Yeah, like the universe is not here to support you.
Yes.
Right.
So
All of your
manufactured.
hopes and dreams
Yeah.
aren't coming
Yep.
true.
So one of the women on the show, loved Saved by the Bell. We got Mario Lopez to be this guy that she bumped into on the street. We got her on this tour bus, a double-decker tour bus that I was the tour guide of, and it was called Celebrity Fishing. And we pick up Mario Lopez, and they go on, and Mario Lopez is kind of like starts casually talking to her, like,
Oh, this is really sad.
and so like she thinks like she's like having this like kind of fun connection, like he's flirting with her. Now here's where it gets interesting. Like the whole day is planned out, like moment to moment, because all the cameras have to be in the right spot,
Sure.
so we know everything. Mario decides to get
go
off the
rogue?
bus. And with her, they disappear for 3 hours.
wait a
No
second.
one knows where
I love
she
this
is.
guy.
No one can't get in touch with Mario.
I like him
we
more
don't
and
know
more.
where they are for 3 hours.
Whoa.
Disappear, and we are all sitting in New York. Camera crews,
New
ready.
York?
Like we're New York City. We're all like, all
this
like,
is hilarious.
We are like, where did he go? He won't answer his phone.
so
What happened?
good.
And then 3 hours later, he came out. And he's like, we just had a nice time together. And that was
That's the
that was
best
it.
thing
we
I've
don't
ever
know
heard.
what happened.
I think we know what happened.
But I mean, like, does she this is what I want to know. Is she ever told she was on a reality
She
show?
was at the end of the
Oh.
day. Yes,
But who cares? She already
Doesn't matter.
No, that's what-
his tongue
Excuse me?
in like the bathroom at Rockefeller Center after they went skating.
For 3 hours?
Yeah, for 3 hours.
Yeah, because he's fucking hairless and built as shit.
By the way, that is a rule
Is
in these
that your
shows.
type?
yes, I
That's
dated
your
a
type.
Hawaiian
He is
guy
your
in
type.
high school.
That's your
Hairless
type.
and jacked?
Hairless. There's not a hair in his body, and I don't think he's waxing. I think
Oh, I think he's
See, to
waxing.
me, Jessica,
Have you
that is
lost your
unappealing.
mind?
That is unappealing.
You want like a Ken doll physique.
God, I don't want to know this.
my first sexual
God.
urge
Oh,
was
God.
for Ponch
Okay,
from Chips.
Chips.
And
Yeah.
Mario is delivering me Ponch, like prime Ponch.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Please
boy.
stop saying punch.
Prime Punch.
Prime punch. Oh,
I
God.
do feel like his shirtless scene though was a
I
real
feel like
beefcake moment.
That's probably a t-shirt.
Prime Punch.
Prime punch.
Prime Punch. Oh, Prime Punch doesn't sound like what
With
the way
just like
you want it to.
dripping letters.
Yeah.
Prime punch.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, Mario Lopez is a beautiful man.
Very
There's
handsome.
Very
No
handsome
way
guy. Undeniable.
around it.
No.
There's
you-
not a
Didn't he
single
like
way
cheat
around
on
it.
his wife on their honeymoon?
Well, this is, by the way, when we shot
What?
this Make My Day. Yes, when we shot this Make My Day, it was right before he got married. Like, and then that story came out
No,
right after.
he
Yeah.
cheated on her on his honeymoon.
I think that's
Got
right.
something like that.
He told the
He
story
was
on
married
Howard
for like
Stern.
20
Yeah.
minutes.
He was married for 26 minutes.
Mario
little rough.
Lopez honeymoon.
Extra, extra.
It's true. And then it wasn't it Allie
Larder?
Laundry?
Oh, Allie Landry. Yeah.
Landry?
Let's
No.
What
see.
you got, Jessica?
I cheated on Allie Landry.
Yeah,
Who is
sorry,
that?
sorry, sorry.
Who's that?
She is a spokesperson.
Oh, she was like a foxy
She's like a
brunette
host,
from
a
that
host.
same era of that time. She was another like
Yeah.
foxy host.
He
Yeah.
cheated at his bachelor party.
Oh, that's
days before his wedding.
She was a Miss USA 1996 and a Miss Universe 1998.
And they only were married for 2 weeks, and he just wasn't ready to settle down.
yeah. He told the story on Howard Stern. That's how I know it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
He is the kind of, he looks like the kind of guy that
And
goes
apparently-
down on somebody in like the honey hive.
Yeah,
like back
yeah,
Keep
then.
like-
saying goes down on.
he also on this
I like
movie.
that you think all of his sexual exploits are oral.
By the way, I feel like that's the right way for him to go. He also on
Absolutely.
this movie was in love with Karina Smirnoff, who I guess was his Dancing with the Stars partner. So Melissa Joan Hart in an article said that he was just constantly on the phone, kind of disconnected from the rest of the.
Wait,
the-
Dancing with the Stars existed in 2007?
Oh yeah, that show's been
that
on
show's
for
been
a
on
while.
forever.
Wow.
There was no chemistry between them.
No.
It's hard
No.
to describe. It's like
There was more chemistry between her and her
her
siblings.
and her father and mother.
And yes.
But I
Combined.
believe but that makes his role more impressive because without chemistry, he still was good and like
Yeah.
created that turn. Like I mean,
No, he did a very good
Did a
job.
bunch.
He did a very good job. The
Guys,
movie
we've
is
been talking
nuts.
about him for 40 minutes and I don't see
What
it.
else did he go to
By the way,
sister?
I will say this,
If we were talking this in depth about a woman, it would be really problematic.
It really would.
we talked about his
About,
body,
like,
we talked
her-
about his
about, like,
career.
Oh, and you know she's
and
just
going
like
down.
sucking that dick in a bathroom.
The one day they got that lighting right was in the bathroom scene where he has the shirt off. That was the
they got it right, all right.
Oh, the only thing
And
they
you know that was a small location. That's hard to light.
The only thing they got wrong was they
spent
should
their
have
time
had
on
shaving cream all over his body because he shaves his whole body.
That is
shaves his
yes.
whole
That's
body?
true.
Oh,
Some men are
that's
hairless,
a fucking
guys.
swimmer's body. Like that's a swimming. I'm shaving. Yeah, he's shaving.
There's there are no men that are that hairless.
I don't know.
I'm gonna type. Does Mario Lopez shave his chest?
Why is he going to admit that?
I don't think
Here,
that's
Paul,
what. Here's
we
the
can
thing.
just
He
do
made-
this for our audience.
It doesn't matter.
Alexa, does Mario Lopez shave his chest?
Guys, this is a very big thing. Star Magazine readers revolt after Mario Lopez and chest hairgate scandal.
No.
This
Yeah.
is a headline?
Yeah. Okay, so wow, this is really interesting. This is insane. Apparently, honesty isn't the best policy for Mario Lopez. Last week, Star told you that Mario was double timing his recent ex, Karina Smirnoff, with a Hooters waitress.
Oh, see? You can't trust a man that beautiful.
And then, and he goes, Mario was
Wow,
asked,
you really turned on him.
and then he was asked in the interview if he manscapes, which means removing excess body hair via waxing, shaving, laser, or plucking. He responded, not at all. That's the Latin Indian blood in me. My dad has a hairy chest, but I do not. But then they posted a photo with him with a full hairy chest
Wait,
in
let's see it.
2003.
Let's see it. Turn it around, please.
All right, hold on. I got to find it.
Nothing better
This is
than,
just the-
than
This
is
showing
like-
a photo on a
This is
podcast.
turning into some sort of Mario Lopez cast, which I am frankly not cool with. I am not enjoying how much play Mario Lopez and his hairless body is getting.
I got to find this chest.
Paul's face looks like it's Christmas morning as he zooms in.
Paul is basically, Paul is basically like a character in a movie who's like, I can hack this system. I can hack this. Just give me
the
30
coordinates.
seconds.
Yeah, give me the coordinates.
Give me,
Cuts of Paul
I'm 30
over the
seconds
course of
away.
time.
I need it in 10 seconds. Give me 30 seconds.
I mean, it's all over the internet.
Enhance. Enhance.
I think people are really upset about that he's been lying about it.
Yeah, they should be.
Okay,
I see
so
a
here,
picture
all right,
of hair on his
yes, it's. By the way, it's not as fulfilling as you think. It's a very light hair, but it's on. It's the one on the right.
Hold
You
on,
see, like
hold
the
on,
light
hold
hair
on,
on his
hold
chest.
Hold on. See, this is the piece of shit that gave me a nervous breakdown. I can't see it.
Okay.
Oh, yes,
no, it's one on the left.
Yeah.
So
That's stubble.
Oh
Can
my
I?
God. This is wild. Watching them, well, look at them. They're trying to use gestures.
Dude,
They're
like,
trying to
open it
use
up. It's just like
iPhone
a-
gestures
yeah.
on a computer.
And you know,
Okay.
there's nothing worse, I would argue,
Than a little
snuggling
hair.
up to a man that has
a
stubble.
little hairy. Yeah, exactly.
Like, so it's fine to have hair, but don't make it stubble on me.
Listen,
That's terrible.
I would prefer hair or
Oh boy. Yeah.
By the way, we've really gotten into this movie. We've really broken down Holiday and Handcuffs. If you watched Holiday and Handcuffs, you really.
hair
Okay.
or no hair.
Yeah.
That's right.
What I don't
This, by the way, is a
What I
spin-off
don't
show.
it's called hair or no hair.
Hair or no hair.
What I don't
with
wanna
June
see-
Diane Raphael and Jessica St. Clair hair.
Hair.
I'd watch
I'll
it.
tell,
Jessica
I'll
say
tell you
hair.
what I don't like. I don't like just a little hair.
Like around the
Like-
nips.
I don't like a little hair on the nipples. That
Ew.
freaks me out.
As if
Wait,
you have
is that a look? Is that a look?
Without
It's
any
not-
other hair, you
Without
mean.
any other hair, that's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. It's not a look. It's just the way
But
some.
that's like that Etch-a-Sketch where you drag the magnetic stuff to make it like on his
Yeah, yeah.
mustache.
Yeah.
That's what it ends up
that's what
looking
it looks like. What I certainly don't ever want to see.
I feel like.
By the
I
way,
feel like-
June, what is this
why
tone of
this a
voice?
secret?
I've never
Why is
heard
this a
you with
secret?
this tone of voice before.
What I don't ever
I
wanna
have
see
heard it.
is stubble.
Never.
Never.
Never. I
And,
don't wanna,
and honestly, I never have, and I'm grateful for that.
me neither. And I don't want to. I don't want to feel like you've groomed more than I have before a date.
But that's why I'm so fascinated that you like a hairless man, because
As I said, I want no hair or all the hair in the world.
Wow.
Jessica,
No hair or all the hair in
But
the world.
no hair. No
There
hair.
is, by the way, another shirt that would be great.
No hair or all the hair in the world.
By the way, a really failed James Bond movie. All the hair in the world.
anyway, we digress.
No hair means you're gonna get stubble.
Yes.
No, not if like a lot of Hawaiian people.
Okay.
No
Okay,
hair.
we
The Rock-
get it. You
The Rock
slept
is
with a
like-
Hawaiian guy. We get
Who
it.
was he? King
We
Kamehameha?
get
Won't
it.
reach out to me. Haven't heard.
He shouldn't. You're married. He's doing the right thing.
Yeah, you have a child. You're happily married.
Won't reach out to you. What does that even mean? He's refusing to engage in a married woman with a married woman, and he's the asshole. Oh boy!
All right, so here's my question for all of you. Is this movie
good?
A magic movie? And what I mean by a magic movie is like, there's like a movie like Liar Liar where you can't, like, he's like all of a sudden he can't say a lie. And there is something in this movie where when she gets dumped, she gets dumped, and I think it's like
they do
the chubby
give
kid's
you
the devil.
a music cue.
Yes.
There is a music cue that I thought also something magic was happening.
But she spins that wheel, the order wheel.
But no, it's not.
But then the chubby kid looks at her like, he's eating the ice cream, and I don't know if he like cursed her because she didn't bring the ice cream.
I wish. That's just her having a nervous breakdown.
Okay, that's a nervous breakdown.
I think she's just, an artist and living that artist's life.
Oh, God. And by the way, can we just talk about the fucked up family dynamic that she has, that they have a keymaster to the hoops that they had to jump through in this movie to make him say like, oh yeah, that's our holiday tradition that we take your phone and keys away.
First of all, the way the entire family treats the holidays is insane. Well, I do love a phone-free Christmas.
Yes. Of course.
I've said that before.
So do I.
Yeah. Put your phones away.
So do I. Put them away. I don't want to see them.
Not today. Thank you.
Not today, and not ever.
But June, you do love to get some good IG content out there.
Listen, you have to always be creating content.
You gotta
grab.
You gotta grab that tablescape. You gotta grab.
You have to.
June, top 2 tips about creating a great Instagram grid. Go.
Paul, I have become obsessed with Instagram grids of late.
What are Instagram
I don't even know what a grid is.
What is that?
A grid is
With your posts that exist forever on Instagram.
It is curated to look like it's supposed to. All of the photos are supposed to work together and create a grid.
Which, by the way,
and you can choose that.
Yes.
You choose your own grid.
No.
You don't
you
choose
pick
your
like
own
horizontal
grid,
and vertical pictures.
There's tons of different ways to do it, but it is kind of exhausting. But
I'm watching
up in
June.
the world of grids.
Yeah, June is up in the world of grids.
This podcast is wild in its content.
I apologize.
But this family is not a good family.
What I was going to say about this family and their Christmas traditions. First of all, when does she get there? Is it Christmas Eve when she arrives?
Oh, I have no idea what time it is, because it seems like Christmas Day goes on for like 2 days, because they open up gifts
at 4.
But then it seems like dinner is so much later.
Okay, she
Drinks
arrives
are at
for
6.
drinks, but she arrives for drinks at 6. It's bright as day.
And then they seem to go right to bed.
Yes, immediately.
Immediately to bed.
That's interesting.
So this family, I found it very strange that a bunch of adults sat around to read 'Twas a Night Before Christmas.
Oh,
We still
that
do that.
moment. And wait, but that's okay. You have a child.
You have a child
Nope.
with you.
We did it without.
Really?
That's right.
Okay, take me through every
who gets to read it and why?
My dad.
Yeah.
And we wear the Santa hats we've always worn.
And your dad reads it every year.
Every year.
And do you
That's
clap?
right.
Do you clap like they clap for Mario?
Probably. I mean, I think there is a case in some families of arrested development where, like, before you are a parent yourself, you sort of still remain in that childlike state when you're all together.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, now I'm liking this tradition, and I think I want to implement it.
Could you get on board? Great. It's the same book every year, and we will do it now. And there are children; it feels more
Much
correct.
better.
What if have you
And my
thought
dad
about
still reads it.
recommending a different book, maybe The Handmaid's Tale?
You each read a
Planet the
chapter.
Cave Bear. Remember that?
I do.
What?
I watched that on a date with a girl. It was really fun.
I remember my mom
That's a
reading
hot
that
movie.
It
book.
was a hot movie. We like made out pretty hard on that date. It was
Okay.
good.
Yeah. Okay. Don't talk about it.
Why is she upset? Like actively upset. I'm talking about something that happened
I
when I
would
was
never
in
disrespect our relationship that way.
Guys, you should watch that one.
I'm talking about a 7th
You
grade
were-
date.
You
Never
were pawing.
disrespect that
You were
relationship.
pawing at a picture of Mario Lopez moments ago.
Listen, but I'm not recounting like tales of my sexual past.
Yeah, that's not right.
That's not right.
That's not right. Paul, I'm agreeing with June. It's not.
Hey.
It's not right.
JK, nice pull, bro.
Nice.
Hey.
Pull. But seriously, you guys should watch that one on this show, right? I'd be on
Oh
for
my
that.
gosh, that would be great. All right, you're coming back for that.
Guys, we got to get into
I
it. We haven't
apologize.
gotten into
Okay.
any of the plot
Well,
points.
I was gonna say this town is.
How about the fact that they
beat
call
and
her
hurt people.
Little Pookie? I didn't like
hear
that.
I didn't hear
Pootie?
Little
I thought it was
pootie.
pootie.
Little pootie, sorry.
And a poot is
a
what
vagina.
you do. Oh, I thought it was when you fart. A pooted? A tooted?
That's a toot.
A toot.
A toot and a poot. A poot and a toot.
You guys,
Did you guys also notice they used a lot of words from the 50s or like, hey, numbnuts, or like, it
Yes.
was like they were from a different time.
Oh, I mean, well, look, their meet cute was problematic to me. Like, they're playing chess and they start slapping her face with
Her own hands.
Her own hands. Like,
That was tough.
And it was like, that's like romantic.
Here's
that's a
what
fun romantic.
right at the beginning of the movie, right? She's in her place. She's in the diner that she works at or whatever. She gets dumped. Mario comes in on the phone. He pulls out the engagement ring. He's going to propose to his girlfriend when she gets there,
At
right?
this Indian diner.
At this
I think
Indian diner.
Not even an Indian restaurant, which I would buy on
Makes
some
sense.
level. It seems like a diner.
So he's there. She's not there yet. The fiancé-to-be isn't there yet. So he checks out the ring. Melissa Joan Hart comes up, and he orders food.
Yeah.
He orders without his girlfriend.
interesting.
He's like, yeah, I'll have a cheeseburger. I'll have so
That's
he's,
right. And a side salad. Hold the dressing.
When she arrives, he will be mid-meal of the meal he's going to propose during.
And by the way, why would you even write that in when you could just have her come over and go, "How
Yep.
can I take your order?" And she's like, "No, I'm just waiting for my girlfriend.
Exactly.
It's a special day."
Maybe a couple of waters.
Or say, hey, or you could just say like, "Hey, it's a special day. I'm going to propose to my
that's
girlfriend."
What's so weird about some of these choices. Like, I also found it strange that they didn't just set the entire thing in her family's actual home. Now, I know it needed to be sort of far away and remote,
Yeah.
but the whole movie is about this family's traditions and like how they are expecting their children to do A, B, and C, and her memories of her past. And they set it in a Airbnb.
Yeah, an Airbnb that just
Like a remote
Why?
log cabin, just for remoteness. I
think
really
also
believe
in
it's just so
Some
he...
people have lived in a remote area. And it
Yeah.
could have just been her childhood home.
I think also in these Christmas movies, I think for Lifetime or Hallmark, they have to have certain things like an ice
cabin.
rink,
Yeah.
Yes.
a log
Right in front.
cabin,
well, shirtless.
a bandstand.
By the way, shirtless. I know an actor who's done 2 Hallmark films, and he told me like that one of the big things is you always have to have at least one shirtless scene. That is
Really?
that is
but
a
not for the women are fully clothed.
Oh,
the
right.
men
Yes,
are shirtless.
yes,
yeah,
yes,
okay.
The women are like very clothed. Like there's an underlayer, then there's a cardigan.
That's right.
And then there's like a
shrug.
jacket over.
Yeah.
Get a shrug.
There is no sexuality to anybody in the movie physically. There is the discussion
The
or
promise
the
of it.
intimation of
Boinking.
sex. But it is always like, yes, boinking. It's told in terms of like...
like there's no sexuality between like you don't feel like when they kiss it's like it's like it doesn't feel like a hot and heavy
no,
kiss.
you don't feel
Not like that
anything.
makeout you had.
with Clan of the Cave Bear.
Oh boy, we walked right back into it.
Whoever that woman is,
walked
could you
right
reach out
back
to the
in.
show?
Just wondering.
Because we'd love to know more. We'd like to hear your side of the story.
Oh my
Yeah.
How
gosh.
hot was it?
How hot was it to be a Clair of
Crazy
the
thing.
Cave Bear?
You don't even want to know how
In-
that one ended. That was a tough one.
Oh boy.
What?
Oh, boy.
The date or the relationship?
The
Or the
relationship.
You had
movie.
a girlfriend in 7th grade?
Yeah, and so
Oh,
we
you
broke
were very
up.
popular.
We broke up, and then that night she was caught shooting a gun out in front of her house.
Paul. All of your childhood stories end in tragedy.
What are you talking about? Was
Yeah.
it
Okay,
at
well-
you? For breaking up with her?
That's what like that's
Disturbing.
okay. That's how it was positioned.
Well, I
to me.
will say, you remember what happened with my dad lived for a while in a retirement community in Florida. And after my mom died, he went out on a few dates with several women. Like when he came to Florida after my mom
He's
died.
a very
he was-
charismatic
oh,
man.
Yeah, life of
I
the
would have
party.
dated your dad.
And by the way,
100%.
just-
All right, relax.
It's true.
Thank
I've
you.
always been
The
a little
best, the
attracted to
best.
your dad in a great way.
And also for that community, like the fact that he drove a car.
What if
and
St.
was
Clair
still
was your
driving.
stepmother?
she would accept it willingly and be
Oh, my
excited
God.
about it.
What if
arms.
What if that had happened?
open
With
arms.
open arms.
with open arms.
So my dad was
How's his
pursued
chest?
heavily by many women in the community almost immediately in his first trip back to Florida. And he told me, do you remember this, Paul? That he went out with a woman a couple of times who was very interested in him, and she was off, as he put it.
yeah,
Now,
yeah.
off could mean a number of things, but he said he finally went out with her. The next day, she committed suicide.
Oh, that is.
I don't remember
dark.
that part of the
Very-
story.
You don't remember that?
I don't remember that part of it. I
very
remember the
next-
first part.
Very next day.
Did the date go well?
What was the
No,
date?
I think
He was like not good with like he was like this is over.
He was like, I'm not feeling
I
it.
don't
or-
think this is. Yeah, I don't think this can happen.
Because also I could see your dad on the
That was
date
it.
being like
That's tough.
I could see your dad being very like blunt but nice and being like, no, we're not gonna
Well,
have
like
another
at
date.
that age,
Oh, my
too,
dad
you don't
would
have
have
a lot
said-
of time. It's like,
Of
let's
course,
not waste.
but I'm
let's
sure
not
my
waste-
dad did not handle it delicately and just said like, I'm not into you is what I'm not interested in.
He probably said, "You're a little off."
Oh.
He 1,000% said, you're odd. You're an odd lady.
Oh,
I
no.
promise you.
Oh my god.
Do you think you could have taken that rejection, St. Clair, if June's dad rejected you?
I'm now rethinking everything I just said. I don't think I could have taken it. Don't fly too close to the flame, to the sun.
I will say, I mean, there's a lot of, we can sit here and make fun of the movie, but I would say I was so impressed with Melissa Joan Hart that she learned how to ice skate like that. And she just nailed that
did
scene.
she ever?
Beautiful.
And all those close-ups of her really doing it.
That was really fucked up when they close upped on what was clearly, obviously, a double just like spinning around. She should have been in the Olympics if she was that good.
By the way,
course.
nobody who has not ice skated, but then that's why this movie is confusing. So are you an ice skater or are you a photographer?
Why wasn't that story about her artwork?
Yes.
That's right.
Agreed.
And how did Mario Lopez decorate all those trees so quickly? She
100%.
never let him out of his sight that long. He decorated all these like 12-foot tall ferns with what lights?
And had to have gotten all of that ice smoothed out and done.
Got a Zamboni.
Zamboni
Got a
in the
straight
back.
up Zamboni machine.
Yeah.
Not to mention, when they first play hockey, she receives so many traumatic blows to the head.
Yep.
She falls.
A number
She
of
is
times.
concussed.
On hard ice.
She is concussed a lot.
This is a really weird observation I made, but do you feel like they did a lot, like whoever the Foley artist was after the fact, like they put in a lot of like Walla Walla, like
Yes, I heard that.
And also the lead-ins to scenes, it was clear they were allowed to improvise, and it felt like they really made a meal of it.
Sure.
You know what else they were
I
allowed-
know what you're saying.
You know what
I'm
else they
saying?
improvised? That game of football.
Oh my god.
They were just
Yes.
running around in circles, throwing the football to each
then-
other.
And someone was like,
All
we'll
four of
edit it
them
and make it
holding
like
each other.
there was no
Very
no
strange.
end zones. There was no touchdowns. It was very strange.
anytime you put them in a group scene, it was problematic. Like when they open, like the movie is a pretty straightforward film until like they open up their gifts and they're opening up their Christmas gift montage.
That's
was
crazy.
Like photos, like
Yeah.
like-
That was crazy.
and it was
First
like-
time and the only time we ever break out of the film for something like that.
And you're hearing music, but yet there's no music cues for like very important scenes. Like there's when Mario Lopez's girlfriend like goes to the police department, she's like, "My boyfriend's been kidnapped." No music. Commercial break. Like it was like, but it was like I've never like they don't even hit a
Not a
sting.
sting.
Nothing.
How about when the cops burst in and point guns at everyone?
And they all, why do they all get
go to
thrown
jail?
into jail?
And then the grandmother comes out with the gun from the Indian restaurant, and I desperately wanted them to shoot her. I was like, ooh.
Shoot the grandma.
Oh, Grandma June Lockhart from Lost in Space, 86 episodes of that. She does so much stuff in this movie, and she does my favorite thing, which is a non-spit take.
Oh my God.
Like-
I wrote that down too.
I was like, this is insane. So there's like a spit take moment, and she just goes, like,
Because she doesn't want to go to full hair and makeup again.
Of course not.
She's been around the block.
Yeah,
do
she's
you
like,
do a close-up?
I'm gonna self-wrap
Yeah.
in about 20 minutes.
she's vomiting off. Because again, when you read that story, she was the one who got the flu the worst.
Oh, really?
She's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Do you think that when she was trying to escape in that car, that was just her, June Lockhart?
Well, I actually felt
You
like
roll on this. Roll on this. We'll use it.
I thought some of the most grounded acting is when they got angry at each other, the parents, and everyone started
Yes.
screaming.
Yeah.
Because what I felt for the actors is they were yelling at the experience, at the script.
That's
Yeah.
what
Felt- they
it was
used
right
it.
there.
It
They
was.
used it.
right there Yeah. for them. Yeah.
I felt like the most truthful moment was when Marky Post was folding those jockey shorts. That seemed to be enormous.
Like for a clown.
Like 2007, like even a middle-aged man is not
Would not
wearing
wear those.
gigantic like jockey
Bloomers.
shorts.
and their relationship didn't seem as troubled until they said it was troubled.
They're
Like,
only
again,
having sex once a year
For birthday
sex, and she pictures Clint Eastwood.
Why? Because even in 2007,
From the
that
Mule.
was a much older man.
Clint Eastwood was very old in
very old in
2007.
2007, even older now.
Well, if they were going to make
Well, that is. I've recently
Wow.
been told that is how time works.
But there is something. The relationship that I wanted to get to the bottom of was Maria and Mrs. Barbara, the maid.
maid.
The
Oh,
maid.
yes.
The maid.
Best part of the movie. I
Great
could watch
scene.
a whole movie with whoever that was.
Is she being forced to try the dresses on?
Great question.
Why is she in that dress?
Thought it might have been like an act of revolt. Why would she be wearing a wedding dress? Because I know Kim Kardashian has a woman who has her exact same proportions. Same cup size, same waist size, everything. So Kim doesn't do any of her
really?
fittings.
That's
Yes.
the same with Friends. Final
Yes.
season of Friends.
Yes,
had
they just
people
have
that were just
people
yeah.
who try on their clothes so they don't have to do fittings. Now, I also hate fittings. So
Me
if
too.
anyone has my exact
I could
Body.
probably go in
figure,
as
you probably could.
Like when I did an Eddie.
for extra work.
So
When I did an Eddie Murphy movie, he had 3 different types of doubles.
Yeah.
And the only time that you'd see Eddie Murphy on camera, like when his face was the only time you'd see the real Eddie Murphy. Behind the head, different guy. Side of face, different guy.
That's right. One time I was in a van and I thought I was in with fake Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
And I was talking to
Oh.
my OBGYN about some various rashes I had.
Oh, no.
And it turned out it was real Eddie Murphy.
Whoa. Eddie
it-
Murphy rode in the van.
Can I ask you a question? You were comfortable talking about your various vaginal rashes
Even around not Eddie Murphy?
in front of Eddie Murphy's
Fake Eddie
guy,
Murphy?
but not. But
Honestly?
if it was Eddie Murphy, you're like, well, of course it's seeping, but I don't know what it is.
What did
exactly.
Eddie Murphy say when you heard about your
Well, he's a very strange and reserved man.
Yeah.
And so I didn't realize until first of all, he has his own like double-decker bus, so I don't know
Very
why he was in the
advanced
past
together.
van. And I had already talked to fake Eddie Murphy about how he appears as Eddie Murphy in Asia on red carpets as him. Like
It's amazing.
They pass him off
when
at
I was
events.
when I was on the line getting lunch, you can't tell the difference unless you
Nope.
it's
He's also fully does Eddie
Yeah.
Murphy. And I thought, what is that like to be
Yeah.
always somebody else? But
But you were
anyway.
like, right now, instead, what I need to do is shout at full volume into my phone about a discomforting discharge I'm experiencing.
I did.
Anyway, we all
No,
make
I don't know if
mistakes.
it's not the consistency of cottage cheese, but
More like a clotted cream. What?
and out around it is like something that looks like a bunch of mosquito bites.
You know what, guys? You don't have vaginas, but when something's off, you need
You gotta make a
answers and
call.
you need
That's
answers
true.
fast.
That's true.
And if you don't pick up the phone when the
That's
doctor
true.
calls,
Yeah. Oh.
that's
Yeah,
gonna be
you don't
another
wanna-
24 hours.
Absolutely.
Keeping you between you and that
Precious
That-
info.
fix it. Fix it. You gotta
that calming balm.
Yes. Of
fix it. Oh.
a light salve.
So I think we really covered this movie, Holiday
This movie,
Handcuffs.
this is.
I will.
This is, you know what? This is what happens when this is the combination of people that is allowed to exist in a studio with a computer. We can go down the rabbit hole of looking at Mario Lopez topless pictures.
By the way, not to go back to it, but did
Please.
he respond to allegations of having chest hair?
According to the website,
I contacted my lawyer. He says we have a suit
I think that Mario Lopez is known as a fibbing bad boy. So
for chest fraud.
yeah. I will say this about the movie. It received 6.7 million viewers, making it the most watched telecast in ABC Family history at the time. Huge hit.
6.7 million viewers is like 3 times as much as an episode of Parks and Rec.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Top 3 movies of 2007, Spider-Man 3, Shrek the Third, Transformers. That's what's going on in the theater. It was released the same year as Bratz, but this is not clocking in on the box office charts.
Shrek the Third, is that what the Shrek happened? Jason?
I'm not talking to you.
We, of course, have an opinion about this movie, but now it's time for second opinions.
The movie was a piece of shit, yet this person recommends it. Tell me what is the message? Maybe that art is subjective. I need a second opinion.
Thank you, John LaJoie. These are second opinions cold from Amazon.com. Holiday in Handcuffs getting a 4.6 out of 5 stars as its overall rating.
Whoa.
78% of the reviews are 5-star. A lot of the reviews are typed in caps lock with very weird grammar.
Moms.
And there's one that's so long. They keep on saying, I don't remember it. I watched it a couple of months ago, but then get into very intense detail. But I'll just read you some of my favorite ones here. This is from Jeanette Hoey. Gave it 5 out of 5 stars. And the title is Mario Lopez was hot. And then the review is Mario Lopez was so hot in this movie. 5 stars. So the title definitely foreshadowed the actual review.
Yeah.
Thomas R. Post writes, any guy would enjoy being handcuffed to Melissa, especially in fuzzy handcuffs.
Ooh.
5 out of 5 stars.
That's a guy who's just watching like handcuff movies. That's his thing, right?
By the way, Melissa Joan Hart did not like the top or the haircut, and she begged them to change it. That's why in the middle of the movie, she just gets a straight haircut.
Really?
Yeah.
We haven't even discussed like why her sister also has like chemical relaxing.
Because you can't get that unless you have like the keys
They
to a
don't
salon.
have
cannot
olive
get that.
oil, but she has the chemical makeup to relax the perm.
Do you
I would
think that
argue
they were
even
going
if even in that town, there's not a store that could provide
Not with that guy who runs the
local
gas
general
station.
Yeah,
store.
no.
He's got
way,
problems.
no way.
Oh, yeah. What did he say? He was a pretty aggressive guy.
Well, he wanted
Well,
to
he
like,
was into like all the dirty sex stuff.
Oh, yeah.
right.
And I feel like also, why are they bringing chemicals to their Christmas vacation? Are
Maybe
they going
it's
to
part
kill
of
somebody?
their chemical romance.
Yes, Jason, nailed it. Anyway, Clan of the Cave Bear. There I am, 7th grade.
Oh God.
All right, so this is from the 117th Doctor.
I can't believe you went on a date in 7th grade. That is wild.
Oh,
That means
6th
you're
grade is-
very, very popular. Paul.
6th grade is
What,
my
June?
first date. 6th
June?
grade is my first date.
June was had a boyfriend in 4th grade, right?
No, I didn't.
5th grade.
I did not have boyfriends till like after high school.
Yeah,
my mom-
I didn't
I
go
can't
on a.
believe
I,
that.
think, I feel like the
It's
first time I
true.
went on
It's
a
true.
date was junior or senior year. Junior year.
6th grade, Stephanie Smith. We went to
All right.
adventure.
Because he was a latchkey kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Although I think my mom rushed that relationship because she like made me go to Macy's and buy her a ring.
What?
So weird. I don't
can't
even know what to
we
say.
don't
I
have
don't.
the
We
time
don't
to
literally
unpack
What
that.
are you
Don't
talking about?
have
We
the time. I am
I
so
just-
This
deeply
is
disturbed
wild.
by that information.
I was just thinking about that the other day because it was like she's
so weird.
because she stopped wearing it, and I was like, "Why did you stop wearing it?" Now as an adult, I'm like, I totally understand that her mom was like, "What the fuck?"
When you were in 6th grade?
yeah,
Jesus, Paul.
I didn't want to get the ring. My mom said I should get the ring.
Oh God,
This is from
Jesus Christ, Paul.
this is crazy.
Paul. I don't like that. I don't like that story. I don't like it.
This is from the 117th Doctor. The title is Now This is a Keeper. My wife is the mushy one, but this actually made me laugh, which doesn't seem like that's...
Okay.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Two different ideas.
Yeah, Melissa Joan Hart and Mario Lopez from Saved by the Bell actually do a wonderful job, create believable chemistry, and enable some truly enjoyable moments. No spoilers here, but my favorite scene was the big Christmas dinner where the family talks it out. It sounded like a couple of scenes I've heard in real life.
Oh,
It's now a Christmas staple for us,
Come
along
on
with
now.
the
Come
Grinch
now.
cartoon, Charlie Brown Christmas special,
What?
and Babes in Toyland, the colorized Laurel and Hardy version, and others. This is a must-watch, even if you only rent it. 5 stars. Written
God.
February 22nd, 2017.
Wow. Well after Christmas.
Wow.
Just reflecting on the
yeah,
holiday.
time.
on the joy that it
Yeah.
brought.
Not to overwhelm you guys with stories, but now I'll tell you the final way that I knew. Melissa Joan Hart was dating one of the guys in my high school, and so she came to school with him like as like a because it was like bring your girlfriend to school.
That's not
thing.
a thing.
So
You know what I
Bring
never
your
had
girlfriend
in
to
high
school
school?
day?
Bring your girlfriend to school day.
Hey, I guess it was weird. I guess like she was like it was sort of like, hey, she's so famous, she doesn't understand what a high school's like, so she can come to your high school for
How
the
did
day.
they meet?
Wait a minute,
Because
wait a
she
minute.
was.
This
I would
is
think she was
suspect.
Los Angeles.
Sabrina at this point.
Well, she was was
Is it
Clarissa.
possible?
Clarissa at this point, not Sabrina at this point.
Just she was only at that point explaining it all.
Yes, exactly. She was not.
Are you
a
sure
witch.
this guy in your high school was dating her? Or did he just say that?
No, they were like holding hands and like
okay.
kissing and stuff like that. And so the whole school was like in a real
I
big
can only
tizzy.
imagine.
And so like everyone was trying to find out ways to approach her. And I was a big fan of Clarissa Explains It All, of course. And I failed math. I was very bad at math. And my in was.
Can you explain math to me?
I could try. I mean, I'm
I
bad
don't.
at
No, I'm saying.
Did you ask
That's what you
Clarissa
said
to
to
explain
explain
it?
it all.
Oh, that would have been great. No, I had failed my math test. And, when you fail your test, you have to have your parents sign it. That was the way my high school worked. So I brought my math test over to her and I said, can you sign my math test so I didn't have to show it to my parents? And so she signed it like big, Melissa Joan Hart, and then wrote under it Clarissa. And then I passed it in to my math teacher and he accepted Melissa Joan Hart. Like I don't think he like
But
understood.
is she running that school? Like, what is going on?
Like he accepted.
What the fuck is happening?
He accepted it. Now that I say all of this stuff out loud, I'm like, it is odd. In the moment, it felt great. I think he thought it was just my mom's signature, even though it was signed
Clarissa was underneath
Like
it?
Clarissa was underneath it. I had that math test still in a folder in my house.
Holy shit!
God, that guy must have been the most popular kid at school forever after
Oh yeah,
that,
he was.
right?
How did he meet her?
I have no idea. I mean, is she from New York?
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah,
Was he like an actor kid?
no.
No. So
No,
he
just
didn't
like
like.
a football
Like meet
guy.
her at
Normal
Broadway,
guy.
like they both did a turn on.
No,
in
no,
Les
he wasn't.
Mis
He
or
was not. He
something.
wasn't in the acting track because that's where I was at it. So I don't know how they met. But
You were on the acting track at the actor's studio?
yeah, I was in the actors track. But yeah, no, I don't know how they met. But
I remember that episode where you.
I asked the question.
You asked a question of Dustin Hoffman and you called him Dusty.
Yeah, because we're both in the same thing. I'm just looking to see where she grew up in Sayville, so that's actually
that's not
near.
too far.
Yeah, that's not too far, and so that's not too far.
Okay, so that makes more sense then.
Yeah, that they probably
It's
met
not
like over
like
a break. Or
she
something.
lived in L.A. and yeah, okay, got
Yeah,
it.
so that was it, and she began her career at 4 when she was in a television commercial for a bathtub doll called Splashy.
She looked just, and maybe I was reading into it, but tired. Like, how
She
am I like
did
doing
look
it
Some
tired.
of this discussion for after
Yeah.
the
This-
microphones are off.
This probably, I'm going to lay this squarely at the feet of the stomach flu.
I agree.
Yeah.
Everybody looked not their best.
Do we
Probably
want
because they were having explosive diarrhea.
anybody want to say anything else that we
Like
haven't
liquid
said?
fart blast.
Yes,
Like,
like hot, wet dumps.
Oh,
all in the same bathroom that then
Yes.
Mario has to
That
go
is
into
basically the
for that
bathroom.
romantic moment.
That is the
Yes.
bathroom of the cabin.
oh yeah, and you know that the
Because you know
owners
they don't have
the-
big trailers.
And the owner of at $5 million, who knows? The owner of our Airbnb was like, please, no one use our bathrooms here. We don't want you to clog it
Yeah,
up.
it
That's
said
the thing.
like off limits.
Off limits.
Whenever I'm shooting something and
Oh.
I see off limits, I immediately go under the thing.
Oh,
and
I'm
use
like,
it.
I'm in.
oh
yeah,
yeah, that
fuck
because
it.
that's where the good stuff is.
Yeah, exactly.
Got to use all their stuff.
That's where I dump.
I just want to just ask like reactions to the brothers.
Don't you feel bad when you're shooting in someone's house and like your holding room is like
Oh,
the
yeah.
kid's bedroom?
Yeah.
And then I'm like taking adult dumps in a kid's bathroom.
I mean, that was the league. When we were in the league, our
And
holding
you're
room was the
tempted to like
kids.
leave it behind so the parents will see and be like, did that come from our kid?
All of
Jason,
this.
You gotta
do you
do that like
remember
that.
when you
All of
offered to
this.
take a dump in the guy's? Jason,
You offered
Yes.
to take a dump.
Jason did the most romantic thing for me once. Even though he's not in love with me and never has been and never will be. This guy stole all this money from me. We like switched apartments. Like I stayed in his
yes.
apartment in LA and he stayed in mine in New York. And it turned out it was really his lover's apartment. And so anyway, he wrote me a bunch of bad checks and Jason said, would you allow me to take a dump in this guy's closet and so that it would be like a leave behind and he wouldn't know what it was?
Because that was the only recourse was to
it.
do something to his apartment.
And,
That was-
I said no. And
Do you regret it?
I regret it. And also, it was the most generous thing anyone's ever offered to do for me.
Who are you people?
I never got that money.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
yeah,
This
Merry
is,
Christmas, everybody.
Jess, what do you want to plug here on the show?
God. You know, oh, hey, we're doing some hot and fresh Womp It Ups.
Oh, great.
June is the only person who has not been on, and it's not for lack of trying.
No, it's not.
I keep reaching out, and one day we'll get her. But please listen, subscribe to Womp It Up.
Such a funny show.
Go back and listen to the episodes with Jason and Paul, who plays Casey Steers. Jason plays Eric Gutterballs, my love interest, on and off again. But yeah, we got him hot and fresh every week. So
Love
please
it.
listen to that.
Now, June, you're
That's exciting.
You're doing some Instagram work right now.
You're doing some grids.
I'm always on Insta. You can always find me there. Any hour of the day.
Jason?
Well, I would like to urge people to please rent or even buy the movie that I star in called The Long Dumb Road. It's available now on Amazon or iTunes or whatever
And
VOD
you are
choose.
fantastic in it.
I
I
can't
really
wait to
enjoyed
watch
that movie.
that.
It's really, really special.
It
and
is a fun road trip movie. It's myself and Tony Revolori. It's a blast. It's really funny. If you like planes, trains, and automobiles and those kind of movies, you'll really get a kick out of it. Also,
Wonderful.
I am in the, I believe the season finale of the most recent season of Nailed It with friend of the pod,
Oh, yeah.
Nicole
Nicole
Byer.
Byer.
And it is one of the funniest things I've ever been a part of. It is.
Oh, I can't
Fantastic.
wait to
I will
watch
Absolute
that.
I will
chaos.
watch that.
I'm going to say to all of you that be on the lookout because in a couple days you will get a chance to watch the first episode of Black Monday, which is a brand new show that I'm doing on Showtime with Don Cheadle, Andrew Rannells, and Regina Hall. And that
I
will
love
be,
you in that 80s look.
Oh, thank you so much.
What do you think, June? Does it do
I think he
anything for
looks
your downstairs?
great.
Does it?
Too hairy, not hairy enough, June.
Just the right amount.
All
I
right,
think
great.
he looks absolutely wonderful.
But
he
just-
always looks great to me.
Just definitely, I will post it up on the Instagram when it is, or sorry, on the Twitter. But you can follow me, and I'll let you know. You'll have 24 hours to watch it. That's a little taste, little sample of it. And also, this movie I did a little while ago, Summer of 03, is now available for pre-order on the iTunes and Amazon. And I saw It's a Wonderful Life for the very first time, and we talk about it on Unspooled, and we actually bring on one of the stars of It's a Wonderful Life,
Oh, wow.
Zuzu, who says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings. We talked to her, and that was pretty special and amazing. So definitely check
I
out our
thought
Christmas
that you
episode.
guys had stopped doing Unspooled.
Oh, no, oh, you know what? Yeah, forget I said that. Jason, we're not doing it anymore, Jason.
I thought you
Because
told.
I know that Jessica's asked me to do her podcast
Yeah.
a number of times, but I've never
and
gotten an
ho
email
ho ho
about
and
you
happy
about-
holidays. And people,
other
if you
podcasts.
guys
I know,
want to just
I thought
listen in.
maybe I'd hurt his feelings. or
And
something.
guys, I will tell you this: the next 2 weeks we will be going into repeats, but we shot or actually recorded some fun openers for the next 2 weeks, brand new material. So even if you've heard the next 2 weeks episodes, it's worth the first 5 minutes on both of them. All right, people, a big thanks to our engineer Devin, our producer Cody, our researcher Nate Kiley, who found this movie. Everybody here at Earwolf, of course, Avril Halley, Kelly Alto, also helping us out all the time. Go to tpublic.com to check out our shirts. They're on sale right now. You can get them for your Christmas or New Year's holidays. And
How fast can we roll out a Prime Paunch T-shirt? for
I mean, we
people
could
who are gonna
get
be
that
asking
going
for it?
pretty
ASAP.
quick.
I don't know if it's
We have
going
got
to
to get
stick.
stocked.
I don't know.
tpublic.com/hdtgm
Let's just
or
be
stores.
ready. I just want to be ready because
There's going to be a lot of orders.
Go
Yeah,
get a how did this
Go
get made
buy
out?
the merch.
Gift the
Gift
stuff.
the merch.
Public
Gift the merch.
/store/hdtgm or go to podswag.com. But we have a lot of shirts and the t-shirts can be made into a lot of different things. Thank you all for listening. What a fun time to talk about everything with all of you. Happy holidays.
Happy New Year.
We'll see you in a couple weeks.
How did this get made?